You've got yourself a Vortech, so now you own a high-end aquarium pump with lots of capabilities. But where do you put it on your tank? Don't worry, I'm going to show you. While my tank is relatively large, 8 feet to be exact, what I'm about to show you works on any size tank. Since most saltwater aquariums are longer than they are taller, you'll want to place a Vortech on each end of your tank. If you only have one Vortech, that's okay. Choose the end of the tank that's farthest away from any aquascaping or rockwork. Next, you need to decide how high or low in the tank to place your Vortech pump. The key here is that middle to high is usually best. If you place a pump too high in your tank and crank up the flow, it's going to suck in air and create microbubbles. No one likes microbubbles on their tank. If you place a pump too low in your tank, you're going to move the sand on your sand bed. Shoveling sand is cool on the beach, but not in your fish tank. So you want your pump to be towards the middle of your tank, but high enough that the pump causes ripples on the surface of the water. Unless I have rockwork or corals directly in front or near one of my Vortechs, I like to place the pumps at the same level. This way you can get similar flow on either ends of your tank. But what about the back of your tank? If you own a cube tank where each side is the same distance, then you're going to want to put a Vortech on the back wall so that you can get water moving forwards to backwards in the tank, which is harder to achieve in a cube tank. Now, if your tank is over 30 inches wide, I also like to put a Vortech on the back wall to get that water moving from the back to the front. Narrower than 30 inches wide, I find that even if I turn the Vortex down, all they do is move the sand in the front of the tank. Lastly, don't be afraid to experiment with the placement of your Vortech. If you put it somewhere in your tank and you don't feel like it's quite right, you can move it around. Just because you put it somewhere doesn't mean you're married to that placement and you have to stick with it forever.